Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Pagey, here once again with another video based on the Legends of Tomorrow trailer that we saw about maybe 12, 14 hours ago. Who knows how long ago it was. But these are going to be my Easter eggs and references that you may have missed from that trailer. So these are the main ones that I've seen. I might have missed a few subtle ones, but I've definitely got the major ones. But if I have missed any subtle ones, please leave them in the comment section below, because I'd love to know any that I've missed. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video or any of the Easter eggs that I have found, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. So the first one I'm going to get straight off the board is the obvious one that a lot of people are freaking out about, and that is this green crystal that we've seen. And this is not kryptonite, this is called the Maximilian Emerald, which is actually an emerald which exists in real life. It actually was in the Smithsonian for a period of time. I think it might still be there, so I'm assuming in maybe 1 or 2 episodes, the Legends of Tomorrow actually break into a museum to retrieve something that they need to complete a mission, or maybe to even just stop a villain. But obviously this did go along with a quote that Rip Hunter said about a possible Batman-Superman reference when he said, "I've seen Men of Steel die and Dark Knights fall." Obviously Men of Steel, Superman, Dark Knight, Batman. So there's the obvious one, then trying to relate it back to kryptonite. It isn't kryptonite. Don't think they'd be able to allowed to use it in this show, but there's been a lot of rumors that this could link into the Emerald Empress, which I don't know too much about, so I'm going to completely skip that. The next thing we see is Firestorm's costume, which I did mention in my trailer breakdown. If you've not seen that, you can go check it out. It's on my channel somewhere. But this is probably the most comic book exact, I guess, costume that I think we've seen. I guess you could say Captain Cold is pretty spot on, apart from the Flash and stuff like that, obviously. But in regards to, like, not a main character in the 2 shows that we have, so it's really spot on, maybe apart from the headpiece, but it's really cool to look at. Next thing we see here is 2 graves, and we have 5 people standing there from the Legends of Tomorrow, but we are missing 2 notable absentees, which are Hawkman and Hawkgirl. So are these 2 graves belonging to Hawkman and Hawkgirl? Personally, I don't think they are. I think they might belong to people that were trying to help the Legends of Tomorrow throughout a mission. And if you don't believe me, oh no, it must be. If you see here, you'll be able to see a dude on the far right and in the far left in different pictures, who's obviously not part of the Legends of Tomorrow. He's actually helping them on a certain mission. Maybe he knows something about a certain place, so they will get help from certain people along the way. So this might be the graves of 2 people that were actually helping them. The next thing we see is this nuclear reactor with what looks like Vandal Savage approaching it. Now we do know that the Negative Woman is going to be on this show, so she'll not obviously, but she will most likely use the reactor to make herself, super. But we later see Martin Stein actually in the reactor grabbing onto the atom, I guess it is, or the particle, whatever you want to call it. So obviously he has some part in this episode in regards to maybe stopping the Negative Woman. Who knows? The next thing we see, I think a lot of people might have missed, and this is actually a run-down Arrow Cave from this season. The new Arrow Cave that we have this season is now almost like abandoned, not run down, like everything's covered in plastic. It's almost like as if the Green Arrow is dead. But then we see Oliver Queen later, aka the Green Arrow himself, with a goatee. And as we know in the show at the moment, he doesn't have a goatee. And in the comics he has a goatee. I think we might get a future Oliver Queen. I'm not saying like 20 years in the future, but maybe like 5-10 years in the future, after Arrow would be over as a series. So this is really cool to see, and it's going to be, I think he might be working on his own. Maybe there's been deaths in the Arrow crew, so it's going to be really cool to see what happens. But I don't think they reveal too much, because it actually might lead down to spoiler territory. Who knows? The next thing we see is Rip Hunter's like a laser gun almost. I just mentioned it because it looks cool, but some people were saying in the comments of my trailer breakdown that it could be like Captain Cold technology. I don't know, I just think it's a fucking cool laser gun from the future. So I'm just going to go along that line. I think it's just a really cool gun from the future. Now this villain, well, I don't know if he's a villain, but I'm just going to assume he's a villain because he looks pretty damn evil, but he seems to be appearing in the trailer a lot. And he may be like an alternate timeline version of someone that we already know, like a villain that's already been established. Who knows? Or he might actually be a comic book character that just got a different look that we just can't really pinpoint who it is at the moment. But he'll play some important role. He'll probably be like a henchman of Vandal Savage, but like one of the leaders of the Vandal Savage army. But yeah, he looks pretty threatening, and it's going to be interesting to see who he actually is. Now, Waverider is in this show, as I mentioned in the trailer breakdown, but it's actually not Waverider, it's actually just the name of the ship, of Rip Hunter's ship. It is called the WR2055, from what I can remember, and the WR obviously stands for Waverider. So this is pretty cool to see. It's a time traveling ship. Waverider was a time traveling superhero. Yeah, one's a ship, one's a superhero, but yeah, they're basically the same. And the last thing we see here, well, the last thing I saw was Captain Cold talking to his younger self, which I did mention in my trailer breakdown. And could this change his future? Could this Captain Cold tell his younger self, be good, be a hero, don't be a villain? Because maybe the Legend of Tomorrow has taught him the good way of life and taught him that maybe he should have been a hero. So could this lead to like a Flashpoint paradox situation where, if you don't know what happens in the Flashpoint paradox, essentially when Barry Allen basically saves his mother, he doesn't become the Flash, and actually Captain Cold becomes, instead of becoming Captain Cold, he's Citizen Cold, and he's like the hero of Central City. So maybe he might get like a flash forward to what Citizen Cold would be like if he was the hero of Central City, which I think would be really cool to see. And obviously we don't want that to happen in like the actual show, but it'd be cool if they had like a vision to the future. I think that'd be pretty cool. So thanks for watching, guys. As I said, if I've left out any obvious Easter eggs, please leave them in the comment section below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, as well as any of the Easter eggs I did mention, and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.